Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I have another hair bow tutorial for you. I posted these the other day and had a lot of response asking for a tutorial on how to make these flowers that I created with my Cricut into headbands. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is prep our felt. Okay, so I've got my glue gun heating up. We're going to use that. I have my piece of felt. This is just the cheapy 49-cent felt I got at Joann's. And I have some Headband. This is the Headband Ultra Hold. This is the only one I've used. I don't know if the light hold would work as well or not. That's totally up to you if you want to try that, but I happen to have this on hand. Headband comes in all kinds of different packaging, but in this pack it just comes in a sheet, and I have just cut a sheet slightly smaller than my felt. There's a shiny side and there's a paper side. You want to take the shiny side, which is your adhesive, put it face down on your felt, and you're going to take your iron and press for a few seconds on each spot until the Headband is adhered to your felt. So I'm going to press mine and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my Headband pressed to my fabric. You can just peel this paper off, and you see your felt now has a adhesive backing on it. You can throw that aside, and I like to, at this point, just trim down the edges so that it's all covered with the Headband. Okay, so I cut it down to the size I need, and I'm going to take my strong grip mat. You can use the green mat if you have a really sticky one. I just want to make sure this doesn't move. That design has a lot of sharp edges, and so I want to make sure that this stays put just like I want it, and I want to make sure it's stuck down on the mat really, really well. I'm just using an acrylic block. You could use anything you have, a ruler. Just make sure it's stuck down really well. Brayer would be great. This just works for me. Okay, now set that aside and let's hop over to Design Space and get started creating the design. Okay, so here we are at the Cricut Design Space app. We're going to tap on it and click on Create New Project right here in the upper left corner. Once we create a new project, you're going to make sure you're logged in. I'm already logged in, but if you're not, click on the little person in the upper left corner and sign in. Now that we're signed in, we're going to go to the lower left corner and click on Insert Image. Once the screen comes up, you're going to click on the search bar and put in 3D flower. And you're going to see all kinds of 3D flowers that are available in Design Space. What we are looking for are any of these that have this spiral design. These are the rolled flowers, and you can use any of them in Design Space that you choose. The orange flower that I showed at the beginning of the video is this pink one right here. It is from the Flower Shop cartridge, but I want to do something a little bit different this time. Let's use something with a little bit more obvious edges. I think I like this red one right here. Let's click on it. You'll see it end up in the project bin right there on the bottom right corner. Okay, here it is in Design Space. Now the first thing we have to decide is what size to make this, and that's the biggest question I got when I posted this the other day, is what size to make it and which shape did I use. It really depends on what size of child or adult you're making these for. I'm making this for a 4-month-old baby, so I wanted to keep mine on the small side. If you're making it for a newborn, you'd probably want it even smaller, and you know, for a 3 or 4 or 5-year-old, you would probably want it a little bit larger. So I am going to change the size on mine to 3.5 inches. So we're going to go down and click on the edit, and then we're going to click on the width and change that to 3.5. And that's the size I used. Again, you're going to have to adjust that according to what size of flower you like. Now we're going to click on this Shapes button and insert a circle. Click on the circle and then click on Edit again and change the width to 0.75. We need a 3/4 inch circle. Okay, now we want to cut both of these out of the same color of felt. So we're going to click on Sync on the bottom, and then we're just going to drag one color down to the other. And it doesn't matter whether you drag the gray down to the red or the red up to the gray. But you're just going to click on those little hash marks on the side and drag. Okay, and now we're going to hit go, and it will appear right here on the mat. You can rearrange that circle and get it as close to the other image as you like. If you see that highlight like it just did, that means you've got it too close. That's too close. If you just move it away a little bit until that highlight comes off, you'll be good to go. Okay, now we're ready to send this to the Cricut by clicking on Go. You're going to set the dial on the Cricut to Custom, and then you're going to scroll down to the letter F. These are in alphabetical order, and find the setting that says Felt with Backing, and check on that. Now we're going to load this into the Cricut and cut it out. Again, I'm using my deep cut blade, and I'm also using a very sticky mat. I'm using the Strong Grip purple mat. You can do it with the green one if it's really sticky. Okay, so here we are. Our design's all cut out. I'm going to remove this from my mat, and again, this is the Strong Grip mat, so this is really going to hold on to this felt. But look how cleanly that cut. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to remove our pieces, and I like to use the spatula just so that it doesn't get this out of shape or out of whack. Okay, so here's what we're left with, and what you're going to do from here, you see this has a end point and then this little circle in the middle. You're going to take this end point and you're going to start rolling the felt so the heat and bond side is down. You're going to roll the felt, which is the felt side is up. You're going to roll the good side of the felt together so that the heat and bond starts showing on the outside. And you're just going to keep rolling and try to keep that bottom straight. And just keep going, keep rolling. Okay, I'm just going to speed this up for you real quick. You're just going to roll this all the way until you get to the end. Keep going, keep rolling. All right. Here we're almost done. Make sure that stays flat. I like to put a little bit of adhesive right here, just to hold that end right where I want it. And then I like to lay it down on the mat, folding this around. Then I'm just going to put a line of glue right here against all those layers to keep them in place. And then you're just going to put that little round spot right on top. Let that dry. Turn it over and look how cute that flower is. And I just kind of spread the ends out. And then you're going to take your elastic and you can sew it together. You can use any kind of elastic. On these I used just a plain white. This I used a stretch elastic, which is what this is. You can also use tights that are cut like I did in the felt bows tutorial, which I'll link below the video. So you're going to take your headband, and what I like to do is put the glue right here on the headband instead of on the flower, just so that I know it's not going to show. And then place the flower right on top, just centered. And then I like to turn it over, take my circle, put a little glue on it, heat and bond side down, and just cover that up so that there's no rough edges against baby's head. And there you have it. that's how I made the flowers. And again, these are just different variations of the different flowers available in Design Space. You can make them. This one's a little bit bigger. These are a little bit smaller. These two are probably the largest. So, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thanks for being here. See you next time. Bye.